Hey everyone, this is Adam, and today I'm going to be showing you a quick tutorial on how to export your animated banners from Figma to an animated PNG file using the Bannerify plugin. So to get started, all we need to do is go to our Figma file, click on the little actions icon at the bottom here, and then if you search for Bannerify, so that's Bannerify, and under the plugins tab, if you click on the Bannerify result, you can run the plugin by either clicking on this run button down here, or I'd recommend clicking on the save icon down here, and that's going to save it to your plugins list for easy access later. So I've already clicked on the save button, which is why it says remove now. So I'm just going to go to my Figma canvas, right click anywhere, go down to plugins, then go down to saved plugins and click on the Bannerify item. And that's just going to run the plugin that we saved a second ago. So if you're new to the plugin, the way that it works is it basically takes any frames on your page. So these are just regular Figma frames, and it essentially treats those as banners. And you can see here I can load any of those into the plugin. So if I click on the load banners button, that's basically going to load up all of my frames along with all of the child elements in those frames. So you can see we've got text layers, button layers, character layers, and these are all being reflected in the Bannerify timeline. So you can see that I've already gone through and animated all of these layers. So I'm not going to be covering that in depth today. If you're interested in how the animations work, which you can basically set just by changing these options down here and doing things like changing the timeline features over here, you can check out some of the other videos on the YouTube channel, or you can check out the documentation site if you're interested in learning more about how the animations work. But for today, you can see that I've basically got a bunch of frames that have been pre-animated with those animations I just went through a second ago. So all we want to do is basically now export this out to an animated PNG file. And the way we do that is just by going up to the export to GIF/video button up here. So we're going to click on that now. And then I'm just going to go down to the bottom here, and you can see we've got this option called export APNG, which means export animated PNG. So if we go ahead and click on the export APNG button, you'll notice that we're now exporting all of the banners that we loaded in. So we've got these 5 different banners, and it's going through each of those and animating them frame by frame. And it's converting each of those frames into a PNG frame, which is then going to get exported as a single PNG file for each of these 5 banners. So when this finishes up in a moment, we're going to be able to download that to our computer and have a look at what it's exported for us. So it's just processing the last banner now, and once that finishes, it's going to zip up all of those files. So I'm just going to click on the download your zip file button. I'm going to click on save, and then I'm just going to go to my desktop and unzip that. So I'm just going to unzip that folder and open it up here. And you can see here, if I just zoom in a bit, we've got a folder called APNG. So that's where all of our animated PNG files are. And you can see in here, we've got these 5 PNG files. So you'll notice that the extension is just a regular .png extension. But if we open up any of those files, you can see that it's actually animated. So it's a single PNG file, but it's an animated PNG file. So it's a special type of PNG that you can use. And we can open up all of these at once in the browser. So you'll notice there's a little index.html file here. And if we drag and drop that into a browser window, it's basically going to load up a preview of all of those PNG files at once. So that's just a really nice way of getting a preview of all of them without having to go through them individually. You can just load up that page. You can send that page to your clients if you need to get approvals for things. Or as we just saw, you can actually just drag and drop these PNG files into the browser as well. So you notice that we've got the image loading up there. It's just a regular PNG file. And that's basically all these are as well. It's just PNG files that have been loaded onto an HTML page, and it just gives you an easy way of previewing all of those. So yeah, that's basically what it looks like. This is an alternative to using some of the other export features in the plugin. As I mentioned, there are export options for GIF files, MP4 files, WebP, WebM, and of course you can also export to HTML as well. But in this case, you might want to use the APNG format or animated PNG format as an alternative to something like a GIF, because you get all of the added benefits of PNGs, which have a better color range than GIFs. So GIFs have a limited 256 color palette, which makes them look a little bit washed out. But with a PNG, you've got a much more wide range of colors. So the accuracy of those colors are going to be much more noticeable if you export it to a PNG. So that's just something to consider if you're interested in exporting out your banners from Bannerify or Figma into an animated format. You can either toss up between the GIF format, or if you're wanting to use the animated PNG format that we just looked at, you can now do that by clicking on the Export APNG button down here, as we just looked at, and that's going to give you all of those PNG files ready to use in whatever format you want for your banner ads. So yeah, I hope that's been helpful. If you've been wondering how to export your banners from Figma to the animated PNG format or APNG format, this is a really easy way to do it with one click, and you can do that directly from the Bannerify Figma plugin now. So feel free to give that a try, and hopefully it helps with your animated banner workflow. And if you're interested in using the APNG format in your own campaigns, hopefully this is going to help you out with automating that process. So we'll leave it there for today. Thank you as always for watching, and we'll be back with more Figma tutorials like this one very soon.